Grant, thanks for being with us today.
It's good to be here, Dave. Thanks for having me.
You've accomplished quite a bit since we last spoke, including multiple key acquisitions. You're now projecting more than $100 million in revenue for fiscal 2022, which began in July of this year. For our viewers that may not be familiar with the company, give us an overview of your operations.
Okay, Dave. As you know, we're a gambling company with a focus on esports. A number of our operations are European focus. To date, has been more of gambling and sportsbook. Certainly, we have our Vi.bet product, which is an esports gambling product in the European markets. With this recent acquisition, we now have 6 Tier 1 licenses, which makes us extremely unique in companies with an esport focus. In our North America market, the big push has been on esports on the tournament platform. With our relationships with the pro teams, the Patriots, the Broncos, the Eagles, the LA Kings, etc., where we're hosting esports events for the fans of those pro teams.
Grant, I want to back up just a bit. For our viewers, I want you to describe the esports betting side, how it actually works, how you make money, what are the teams betting on, and then we'll talk more about that potential New Jersey license and what that does for you. But first, describe a tournament. How are you making money? How are the players making money? How does it all work?
Sure. Well, those are 2 separate products, and we make money on both. The Vi.bet product, which is currently operational in the European markets and Latin American markets, that's an esports book, for lack of a better description. It's where fans of esports can go and they can bet on teams who are playing League of Legends, Dota, Counter-Strike. These are professional teams, professional players who play in tournaments where they're looking for purses of over $1 million. And it gives the fans a chance to bet on those teams, just like traditional sports.
So, Grant, for our viewers who may not be as familiar as we are with the online esports entertainment gaming, these are fictional games, video games, basically, and the objective is to get enough points to win the game. And they're, in many cases, these teams are, betting millions of dollars on these fictional games they're playing. Correct?
Well, that's fairly accurate on a couple of the titles. Yeah, League of Legends and Dota are what they call fantasy games, where the players have an online avatar who's a hero that has certain powers. And it's teams of 5 that they play an opposing team of 5 for, as you already put it, multi-millions of dollars. The Dota championship can have a purse of up to $28 million is the purse they play for, which is larger than most, if not all, traditional pro sports.
So what does esports provide for these tournaments, and how do you make money?
Okay, for those particular tournaments that we just talked about, the traditional esports games, that's our Vi.bet platform internationally, and that will be our Vi.gg platform launching in New Jersey. We provide effectively an esports book where people, fans of those titles, and those titles have 75, 80 million fans per title. It gives them an opportunity to place a bet on their favorite player, their favorite team in these matches, these tournaments.
So you provide the infrastructure, the sports betting infrastructure, then, where they can place the bets on their team.
Correct.
Correct?
Absolutely correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's that segment. What's the other segments?
On the tournament platform where we run the tournaments, which is the EGL. This is the platform we've been really focused a lot of energy in the North American market. We've been partnering with the professional sports teams because they have the largest audiences. You look at a team like the Patriots, they have 25 million fans. Cleveland Cavaliers, 20 million fans. Denver Broncos, 14 million fans. The teams know that their fans, just like their players, play video games. They tend to play more console-based games, Call of Duty, Madden, FIFA, NBA 2K. So we're helping them run tournaments for their fans to win prizes of the team, signed jerseys, helmets, season tickets. Now, the fans pay us to join in these tournaments. So we make our money by the fans signing up to play in these tournaments, and we make our money from brands that choose to or wish to advertise our product, whether it's Coke, McDonald's, Anheuser-Busch, or Lenovo. or they want to advertise, so sponsorship. So we make our money in those two areas, but it's a cumulative event. So when people sign up to play in a Patriots tournament, a Broncos tournament, an Eagles tournament, once they sign up, they're our clients.
So you've applied for a New Jersey gambling license through your affiliation with Bally. Does that mean that players will be able to, or players or bettors will be able to bet on real sports teams with that license?
That license is actually a sports license. So technically, yes, we can offer sports. But we're going to launch with our ViGG product, which is an esports book. So fans of esports will be able to bet from the state of New Jersey on esports titles, the traditional esports titles. Any esport professional event that we'll be showcasing it on that site. So when we go live in New Jersey, we will be the first licensed, regulated esports gambling site in North America.
So, Grant, what you've done in the last 12 months is really remarkable. You've grown from almost zero in revenue to, again, for fiscal 2022, which began in July of this year, you're projecting $100 million in revenue. That's a huge, huge jump from your trailing 12-month revenue of about $8 million. You've done that through these very strategic acquisitions. So congratulations on that. Talk to us about, for a company to accomplish all of that in the short time that you have. Leadership is paramount to the success of smaller cap companies. Talk to us about your background and some of the key players on your team.
Sure. Leadership, clearly the most valuable resource any company have are their people. We've gone from, in the last 14 months since our listing on NASDAQ, to your point, from a couple hundred thousand in revenue to 100 million in guidance. We've gone from having one license to 6 tier 1 licenses, and staffing, we've gone from 12 to 250. So it's been quite a radical change, and you can only do that with quality people. My background in the online gambling business goes back to the mid-90s. 95, 96 is when I got involved. So I have a lot of deep contacts in the industry. Stuart Tilley and Dan Marks with our first acquisition over at Sport Nation, 15 years in the gambling business for Stuart, and 8 for Dan. John Brackens, our CTO, has worked with Blizzard Activision. Magnus Lipaniemi, he comes to us from his years to DreamHack, but he's been involved in the online esports industry for 20 years. Ken Silva, who recently joined our firm from Interactive Media. He's the founder of Esports Canada. We're deep in both gambling expertise, and our esports DNA is second to none in the industry.
I want to sum up today with the essential value proposition. I will note that there are 5 analysts covering you. Maxim Group has a $30 price target on you. HC Wainwright, a $23 price target and a buy. The stock, as of this recording, is trading below 10. And I'll note that when we look at some of your competitors, if you will, say at DraftKings is losing on a net income basis, trailing 12 months, $1.5 billion. You're trading today 2 to 3 times your forward revenue. There are other companies in the space, again, trading at much higher multiples. You are still relatively undiscovered. In a couple sentences, Grant, sum up why investors should consider building a position in your company today.
Well, David, the proposition, in addition to the fact that we are only 2 times multiple on our projections, which the industry average is 7 to 8. If you think about who we're dealing with in North America, the professional teams, particularly the NFL teams, have the largest fan bases in the North American marketplace. We have never reached out to a team. The teams have reached out to us. The reason they've reached out to us, they know we're the best. We have the product that they want to supply their fans with. So in terms of getting growth, can't have better partners than that. Similar with the IGA group, the Indian Gaming, which is a subset of NIGA, that represents 50% of the North American casino industry. Again, they reached out to us. We're proud to have them as partners.
A wonderful story. Full disclosure, Red Chip owns 25,000 shares. We've never sold a share, by the way, and you've been a client for going on 4 years. Never sold a share, because I think the stock will be and deserves to be much, much higher than where it's trading today. Thank you so much for being with us, Grant.
David, thank you for having me.